Hi everyone, it's Mr. Donahue again, and we're going to be reading a book about fall. Okay, so it's Fletcher and the Fallen Leaves by Julia Rawlinson. Here it is, and you can see it's got the little sticker right from the library, so you can check this out from the library here at school. And we're going to figure out what Fletcher and the Fallen Leaves is all about. The world was changing each morning when Fletcher bounded out of the den. Everything seemed a little bit different. The rich green of the forest was turning to a dusty gold, and the soft, swishing sound of summer was falling into a crinkly whisper. Fletcher's favorite tree looked dull, dry, and brown. Fletcher was beginning to look worried. "I think my tree is sick," said Fletcher. "What's wrong with it?" said his mother. "Its leaves are turning brown," said Fletcher. "Don't worry, it's only autumn." Fletcher ran back to his tree and patted the rough bark. "Don't worry, tree, it's only autumn," he said. "You'll be feeling better soon." There we go. But the tree didn't get better. Each day more leaves turned brown. One morning the wind blew a soft brown leaf off of a branch, and Fletcher jumped up and caught it very gently in his paw. There he is. "Don't worry, tree. I've got your leaf. I'll fix you," said Fletcher looking around. He picked a piece of grass and carefully tied the leaf to the branch. Just then another gust of wind ruffled Fletcher's fur. The little leaf shook itself free and fluttered back to the ground. Fletcher picked it up again and thought very hard. Then he poked the leaf into a twig and pushed it firmly down. "Now you hold on tight," said Fletcher. "No more flying around." The little leaf gave a tiny rustle in reply. The next day a strong wind was blowing through the forest, and Fletcher rushed out of the den and ran all the way to his tree. Lots of branches were bare, and the little lost leaves spun everywhere. "Don't worry, tree. I'll catch them for you, I promise." Round and round and round Fletcher whirled. Fletcher after the swirling leaves he went. And there it is. "Leaves, wonderful leaves, just what I need for my nest," said the squirrel. "But these belong to my tree," said Fletcher. "Don't take them away. The tree doesn't need them anymore," said the squirrel, bounding off. "Help, help, the wind and the squirrel are stealing our leaves," cried Fletcher. "Leaves, terrific leaves, just what I need to keep me warm," said a porcupine, as he rolled around. "But those leaves belong to my tree," said Fletcher, plucking the leaves from the porcupine's needles. "Not anymore," sniffed the porcupine, and away he rolled. "Help, help, the wind, the squirrel, and the porcupine are stealing our leaves," said Fletcher. Oh no, is Fletcher going to be able to get all those leaves? Suddenly a flock of friendly birds swooped down from the sky. They picked up the leaves in their beaks and poked them into the tree branches. Soon the tree was leafy again, and Fletcher flopped down and smiled. "Thank you, birds, thank you," he gasped as the birds fluttered away. He lay looking up through the leaves at the sky and drifted off to sleep. There's some pretty leaves on that tree. But the wind continued to blow and the branches still danced. The leaves shivered and shook themselves and began to wiggle free. They tossed and turned and twitched and twirled and mumbled to the ground. They brushed Fletcher's ears and nose and filled his dreams with whispering sound. When Fletcher finally woke up, he couldn't believe his eyes. Instead of a roof of dancing leaves, all he could see were bare branches against the sky. "Oh, tree, I'm so sorry," gasped Fletcher. "All your leaves are gone." But then he saw high in the branches one small leaf still holding on. "I won't let the wind steal that one," said Fletcher as he began to climb. He crawled along the last leaf and held it firmly onto its branch. All day long the wind blew, the branch bounced, and Fletcher held tight. "I'll stay with you, leaf," he said. "Don't worry." Fletcher's a pretty nice friend to his friend the tree. But then a sudden whoosh of wind, the branch bounced high. With a plip, the leaf let go and fluttered like a little flag clutched in Fletcher's paw. There he is, the last leaf of the tree. Fletcher looked sadly at the leaf that he had promised to save. He carried it carefully down the tree and back to his den. He made a cozy little bed and gently tucked it in. But all night long he could only think of his tree, all on its own. There he is. At dawn, Fletcher tiptoed outside. The wind had finally stopped blowing, and the air was cold. The moon was still hung in the clear sky, and pale stars glimmered as he came to his favorite tree. Fletcher saw a magical sight. The tree was hung with 1,000 icicles shining silver in the early light. "You are more beautiful than ever," whispered Fletcher. "But are you all right?" A tiny breeze shivered in the branches, making a sound like laughter. And in the light in the rising sun, the sparkling branches nodded. Fletcher gave his tree a hug, and then he went back to his den for a nice warm breakfast. That's a real pretty tree, isn't it? Covered with snow and ice. And you can't see this, but if you feel the book, you can feel the icicles on the tree. It's kind of cool. So that is what's going to happen when fall ends and goes to winter. Everything will be covered with snow and it will look pretty again. So if you like this book, Fletcher and the Falling Leaves by Julia Rawlinson, have Mom pick it up wherever she buys books. Check it out in the library. Watch it here. Ask your teacher. You have a great day. I hope you have a great fall. Bye.